Hi everyone. In this video, I'll be demoing code scanning. Specifically, how can we be introduced to the pull request experience to both identify and remediate vulnerabilities before they ever enter your code base. To get started, we'll head over to the pull request tab, and we'll take a look at one I opened earlier today. The first thing we'll notice is that GitHub Advanced Security has acted as a reviewer for this pull request. So when I open the pull request, in the background, GitHub Advanced Security scanned the code that's being introduced, looking for any vulnerabilities that could be there. I've actually configured my repository, so every pull request that is opened, regardless of who's doing it, GitHub Advanced Security will be added as a reviewer. It will scan the code and alert for any vulnerabilities that has been identified. So let's scroll down and see if GitHub Advanced Security has found anything. So here we'll see an alert from GitHub Advanced Security, letting us know that it found potential problems, that problem being an identified vulnerability in this code. We'll see it provides where it's identified that vulnerability, so the specific file. And it's given an alert for what that vulnerability is. So we'll see it's a client-side cross-site scripting vulnerability with an associated severity of high. If we want a bit more information on the specifics of this vulnerability, we can click Show More Paths, which shows the source to sink evolution of this vulnerability that has been identified. So the source being the point of entry, each step being a new point, kind of how the data is flowing through this application, and the sink being that point of exploitation. Now, not only does code scanning alert on the identified vulnerability, it's actually going to try to provide a auto fix, which is just a remediation to that vulnerability. And we'll identify that here in the suggested change set. You'll see this diff, which has been created by GitHub Advanced Security. And we can actually come in and commit that suggestion, which would remediate the vulnerability in this pull request. So if we were to merge this pull request, that vulnerability would no longer be there, and that code would still act and perform as intended. Now, the last thing I want to show for this specific alert is this Show More Details. And this will take us a bit deeper dive into the vulnerability itself. So again, we'll see where that vulnerability lives. And down here, clicking Show More. This is more information on that cross-site scripting vulnerability. Now, where autofix pertained to that vulnerability in the pull request, this is more information specifically on the cross-site scripting vulnerability. And in this case, it was identified for JavaScript. So this is going to be cross-site scripting JavaScript vulnerability information. So we'll see a high-level overview of what this vulnerability is, a recommendation, kind of best practices on how to prevent these and fix them in the future, and examples of code that your developers can write so they don't introduce them going forward. I found this really useful because the state of application security is always changing. New vulnerabilities are coming out, making it hard to keep up with kind of the state of everything. So if you identify a vulnerability, it's nice to come in and be able to see what that vulnerability is, get some information on it, and know how to prevent it going forward. So going back to that pull request, the next thing I want to cover is this works with the new release of stacked PRs. So we can see this is PR 1 of 2 in this stack. Let's take a look to see what it looks like for another pull request in this stack. So we'll see here that GitHub Advanced Security has also reviewed this pull request in the stack. And let's scroll down and take a look to see what that looks like. Again, we'll see another notification from GitHub Advanced Security, letting us know of potential problems. So what I want to call out here is that you'll notice that this is a PHP file. Traditionally, GitHub Advanced Security's code scanning tool did not work on PHP, as it was an unsupported language. But with the introduction of our new AI scanning or AI findings tool, which is an addition to our code scanner, we can now scan previously unsupported file types. Things like PHP, Docker containers, or other kind of code that wasn't traditionally scannable from our deterministic SAST search. So again, we'll see what it's identified. So for this specific PHP file, it has found a critical vulnerability, this case being a SQL injection. It's going to provide information on what it's identified, some information on how to fix it, and again, like you saw before, it's going to provide a suggested change set for that Copilot autofix that would come in and commit the suggestion to automatically remediate that vulnerability. So that's everything I wanted to show with code scanning in the pull request. Code scanning really meets your developers where they live. They are opening pull requests constantly. So now you have the ability to scan every pull request that's open, identify vulnerabilities, and remediate them before the code ever enters your codebase or subsequently into production. The earlier identify vulnerabilities, the cheaper and easier they are to remediate, which is something that can be done easily with GitHub Advanced Security. Thanks for listening. Bye.